prepared to spend on your dream car? $100,000, $500,000, how about $10 million? Have you ever wondered what the most luxurious cars in the world are? The vehicles that redefine the very meaning of opulence, performance, and exclusivity. Close your eyes and picture the most luxurious car you can possibly imagine. A vehicle so rare, so exquisite, so breathtakingly expensive that mere mortals can only dream of possessing it. Now open your eyes, because today we're counting down the 15 most luxurious, extravagant, and downright desirable automobiles on the face of the earth. 15. Bentley Mulsanne. Kicking off our list is a name that's synonymous with upper-crust British luxury, Bentley. And their flagship sedan, the Mulsanne, represents the pinnacle of the brand's old-world craftsmanship and elegant design language. Named after the famed Mulsanne Straight at the legendary Le Mans race circuit, this regal limousine is the chariot of choice for discerning clientele ranging from business magnates to heads of state. Under the Mulsanne's sprawling bonnet lies a 6.75-litre twin-turbocharged V8 engine, hand-assembled by a team of skilled craftsmen in Crewe, England. This mighty powertrain summons a Herculean 530 horsepower and 811 pound-feet of torque, sufficient to propel this 5,600-pound behemoth from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds. That's an astonishing feat for a vehicle of this size and stature, a testament to Bentley's performance pedigree. But the Mulsanne is more than just a numbers car. Step inside the cavernous cabin and you're greeted by an interior that's nothing short of palatial. Sumptuous leather hides are hand-stitched by master upholsterers, while rare wood veneers are laser-cut and painstakingly lacquered to a mirror finish. The 14-way power-adjustable front seats feature heating, cooling, and massage functions, while the rear seats recline like first-class airline suites. Everywhere you look, touch, and feel, the Mulsanne exudes handcrafted quality and bespoke luxury. The Bentley Mulsanne starts at a cool $304,670, and that's before you start delving into the dizzying array of customization options. From personalized monograms stitched into the headrests to one-off paint colors and even solid gold interior accents, the sky's the limit when it comes to making your Mulsanne truly your own. But for those with the means, there's simply no substitute for the craftsmanship and cachet that the Mulsanne brings to the table. 14. Mercedes-Maybach S-650 Pullman. Moving on, we have a car that takes the concept of the ultra-luxury limousine to a whole new level, the Mercedes-Maybach S-650 Pullman. Now you might be thinking, isn't the regular S-Class already one of the most opulent sedans on the market? And you'd be right. But the Maybach Pullman takes that baseline of luxury and cranks it up to 11, resulting in a vehicle that's less of a car and more of a rolling palace. Let's start with the sheer size of this thing. The Pullman stretches a staggering 21.3 feet from bumper to bumper, making it longer than most full-size SUVs. That extended wheelbase allows for an absolutely cavernous rear passenger compartment, complete with 4 individual lounge seats that recline like first-class airline suites. These seats are upholstered in the finest Napa leather and feature heating, cooling, and massage functions naturally. But the real party piece of the Pullman is the middle row. These 2 seats face rearward, allowing for face-to-face conversation with the passengers in the back. A motorized partition separates the front and rear cabins, ensuring privacy for those high-level business deals or clandestine conversations. And if you need to make a quick getaway, the Pullman can be equipped with full armoring to withstand ballistic and explosive threats. Under the hood, the Pullman packs a serious punch. A hand-built 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine churns out 621 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque, enough to hustle this nearly 6,000-pound behemoth from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds. An adaptive air suspension system with magic body control keeps the ride silky smooth, even over the roughest of roads. As you might expect, all this excess comes at a cost. The Mercedes-Maybach S-650 Pullman starts at a jaw-dropping $615,000, and that's before you start adding options like the aforementioned armoring or the bespoke Maybach champagne flutes. But for those who demand the ultimate in luxury and exclusivity, the Pullman is quite simply in a class of its own. 13. Ferrari 812 Superfast. From the regal refinement of the Maybach, we now shift gears to something a bit more exhilarating. Meet the Ferrari 812 Superfast, a front-engine rear-wheel drive masterpiece that represents the pinnacle of the prancing horse's grand touring lineup. And with a name like Superfast, you know this thing means business. At the heart of the 812 lies a monstrous 6.5-litre naturally aspirated V12 engine, the most powerful production motor Ferrari has ever created. This fire-breathing power plant churns out a staggering 789 horsepower and 530 pound-feet of torque, resulting in a 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint of just 2.8 seconds and at a top speed of 211 miles per hour. The sound it makes while doing so is nothing short of symphonic, a high-pitched wail that sends shivers down your spine and sets off car alarms for miles around. But the 812 isn't just a straight-line speed machine. This is a Ferrari after all, and that means it's been engineered to devour corners with the same ferocity as it devours straightaways. The rear-wheel steering system, first introduced on the F12 TDF, virtually shortens the wheelbase for greater agility in tight bends. The latest version of Ferrari's side-slip control system allows for controlled drifts and power slides, making even novice drivers feel like Formula One aces. Of course, the 812 isn't just a brute in a pretty suit. This is a true grand tourer, which means it's been designed to cross continents in style and comfort. The interior is a sumptuous blend of hand-stitched leather, carbon fiber, and aluminium, with a decidedly driver-centric layout. The seats are supportive yet supple, the ideal throne for long-distance cruising. And with a generous front trunk and a reasonably sized rear cargo area, the 812 can even swallow a weekend's worth of luggage. All this speed and style doesn't come cheap, of course. The Ferrari 812 Superfast starts at around $335,000, and that's before you start delving into the dizzying array of customization options. From brake calipers in every color of the rainbow, to bespoke carbon fiber trim, and even a telemetry system for tracking your lap times, there's no shortage of ways to make your 812 truly your own. But for those who crave the ultimate grand touring experience, the 812 Superfast is simply in a league of its own. 12. Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. From one iconic marque to another, we now turn our attention to the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. This British-built Super GT represents the pinnacle of Aston Martin's design and engineering prowess, a stunning amalgamation of style, luxury, and raw, unbridled performance. And with a name like Superleggera, Italian for super light, you know this thing is serious about shedding pounds and scorching pavement. At the heart of the DBS lies a 5.2-litre twin-turbocharged V12 engine, a power plant that's become something of a signature for the modern Aston Martin. In this guise, it churns out a monstrous 715 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque, enough to catapult the DBS from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds and onto a top speed of 211 miles per hour. But raw speed is only part of the equation here. The DBS has been engineered to be a true driver's car with a chassis tuned for maximum agility and feedback. That agility is aided by the extensive use of lightweight materials throughout the DBS's construction. The body is crafted almost entirely from carbon fiber, while the underlying structure uses bonded aluminium for added strength and rigidity. The result is a car that tips the scales at just under £4,000, a featherweight by modern Super GT standards. But the DBS isn't just a numbers car. This is an Aston Martin after all, which means it's been designed to stir the soul as much as it quickens the pulse. The styling is simply breathtaking, with a low, wide stance and flowing muscular lines that seem to have been sculpted by the wind itself. The interior is equally stunning, with hand-stitched leather, real metal trim, and a decidedly driver-centric layout. And with a generous front trunk and usable rear seats, the DBS can even serve as a reasonably practical daily driver, if you're brave enough to face the potholes and speed bumps of the real world, that is. Before you start adding options like the Bang & Olufsen audio system or the carbon fiber roof, the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera starts at around $308,000. But for those who crave a true blend of luxury and performance, the DBS is a tough act to beat. It's a car that's as comfortable cruising the French Riviera as it is carving up the curves of the Swiss Alps, a grand tourer in the truest sense of the word. 11. Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Meet the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, a razor-sharp supercar that represents the pinnacle of the Italian automaker's performance engineering, and with a name like SVJ, short for Super Veloce Jota, you know this thing is all about one thing: speed, and lots of it. At the heart of the SVJ lies a monstrous 6.5-litre naturally aspirated V12 engine, a power plant that's become synonymous with Lamborghini's most extreme machines. In this guise, it churns out a staggering 770 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque, enough to catapult the SVJ from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds and onto a top speed of 217 miles per hour. But as impressive as those numbers are, they only tell part of the story. You see, the SVJ isn't just about straight-line speed. This is a Lamborghini after all, which means it's been engineered to devour corners with the same ferocity as it devours straightaways. The key to that agility lies in the SVJ's active aerodynamic system, which uses a series of flaps and ducts to constantly adjust the airflow over the car for maximum downforce and stability. The result is a car that sticks to the road like glue, even at triple-digit speeds. But the SVJ isn't just a numbers car. It's also a feast for the senses, with a design that's as aggressive and in-your-face as anything on the road today. From the gaping front intakes to the massive rear wing, every inch of the SVJ screams speed and power. The interior is equally intense, with carbon fiber bucket seats, Alcantara upholstery, and a digital instrument cluster that looks like it was ripped straight out of a fighter jet. The Lamborghini Aventador SVJ starts at around $517,000. But for those who crave the ultimate expression of speed and aggression, the SVJ is tough to beat. It's a car that demands respect, both on the road and on the track, and it's not afraid to let you know it. 10. McLaren Senna. From one extreme machine to another, we now shift our focus to the McLaren Senna. Named after the legendary Brazilian Formula One driver Ayrton Senna, this British-built supercar represents the pinnacle of McLaren's performance engineering. And with a singular focus on lap times and track prowess, the Senna is a car that's not afraid to sacrifice comfort and luxury in the pursuit of ultimate speed. At the heart of the Senna lies a 4.0-litre twin-turbocharged V8 engine, a power plant that's been lifted straight from McLaren's 720S supercar. In this possible, a machine that proves that the future of high-performance motoring is already here. 8. Pagani Huayra BC, a handcrafted Italian hypercar that represents the pinnacle of automotive artistry, and with a combination of jaw-dropping design, cutting-edge materials, and raw, uncompromising performance, the Huayra BC is a car that's not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible. At the heart of the Huayra BC lies a 6.0-litre twin-turbocharged V12 engine, a power plant that's been sourced from Mercedes-AMG and then heavily modified by Pagani's engineers. In this guise, it churns out a staggering 789 horsepower and 811 pound-feet of torque, enough to catapult the Huayra BC from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds and onto a top speed of 238 miles per hour. But while those numbers are certainly impressive, they only tell part of the story. You see, the Huayra BC isn't just about raw speed, it's about craftsmanship, the kind that comes from hundreds of hours of painstaking attention to detail. Every inch of the Huayra BC has been carefully sculpted and refined, from the hand-stitched leather interior to the exposed carbon fiber bodywork. And with a curb weight of just 2,685 pounds, the Huayra BC is one of the lightest hypercars on the market today. But the Huayra BC isn't just a numbers car, it's also a work of art, with a design that's as beautiful as it is functional. The flowing sculptural lines, the intricate details, the exquisite materials, every element has been carefully crafted to create a machine that's as much a piece of art as it is a high-performance vehicle. And with a spacious, well-appointed interior and a surprisingly compliant suspension, the Huayra BC is a car that's as comfortable on the streets as it is on the track. And with a price tag of $2.5 million, you can't tell this is one of the mill cars. 7. Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. From the handcrafted artistry of the Pagani Huayra BC, we now turn our attention to something a bit more extreme. Meet the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, a hypercar that represents the pinnacle of Bugatti's engineering prowess. And with a singular focus on performance and handling, the Chiron Pure Sport is a car that's not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible. At the heart of the Chiron Pure Sport lies an 8.0-litre quad-turbocharged W16 engine, a power plant that's become synonymous with Bugatti's most extreme machines. In this guise, it churns out a staggering 1,500 horsepower and 1,180 pound-feet of torque, enough to catapult the Chiron Pure Sport from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.3 seconds and onto a top speed of 218 miles per hour. But while those numbers are certainly impressive, they only tell part of the story. You see, the Chiron Pure Sport isn't just about straight-line speed, it's about handling, the kind that allows you to carve through corners with precision and agility. To that end, every inch of the Chiron Pure Sport has been optimized for performance. The aerodynamics have been tweaked to provide more downforce, the suspension has been stiffened and lowered, and the tires have been specially developed to provide maximum grip. But the Chiron Pure Sport isn't just a numbers car, it's also a work of art, with a design that's as aggressive as it is beautiful. The exposed carbon fiber bodywork, the massive rear wing, the center lock wheels, every element has been carefully crafted to create a machine that's as much a sculpture as it is a hypercar. And with a spacious, well-appointed interior and a surprisingly compliant ride, the Chiron Pure Sport is a car that's as comfortable on the streets as it is on the track. At around $3.6 million, you start adding options like the exposed carbon fiber interior or the custom paint colors. But for those who crave the ultimate expression of speed and performance, the Chiron Pure Sport is not your ordinary sports car. It's a car that pushes the boundaries of what's possible, a machine that proves that sometimes more is more. 6. Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. From the raw, uncompromising performance of the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, we now shift our focus to something even more extreme. Meet the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, a hypercar that represents the pinnacle of Koenigsegg's engineering prowess. And with a singular focus on top speed and aerodynamic efficiency, the Jesko Absolute is a car that's not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible. At the heart of the Jesko Absolute lies a 5.0-litre twin-turbocharged V8 engine, a power plant that's been developed entirely in-house by Koenigsegg's engineers. In this guise, it churns out a staggering 1,600 horsepower and 1,106 pound-feet of torque, enough to catapult the Jesko Absolute to a theoretical top speed of over 330 miles per hour. That's right, the Jesko Absolute is designed to be the fastest car in the world, a machine that pushes the limits of what's possible in terms of sheer speed. But the Jesko Absolute isn't just about raw engine power, it's about aerodynamic efficiency, the kind that allows you to slice through the air with minimal drag. To that end, every inch of the Jesko Absolute has been optimized for high-speed stability. The sleek, low-slung bodywork, the active rear wing, the flat underbody, all of these elements work together to create a car that's as slippery as it is fast. But the Jesko Absolute isn't just a numbers car, it's also a work of art, with a design that's as futuristic as it is functional. The exposed carbon fiber bodywork, the dihedral synchro helix doors, the center lock wheels, every element has been carefully crafted to create a machine that's as much a sculpture as it is a hypercar. And with a spacious, well-appointed interior and a surprisingly compliant ride, the Jesko Absolute is a car that's as comfortable on the streets as it is on the track. Of course, all this performance and exclusivity doesn't come cheap. The Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute starts at around $2.8 million, a machine that proves that sometimes the sky's the limit. 5. Rolls-Royce Phantom, a luxury sedan that represents the pinnacle of automotive craftsmanship and elegance. And with a singular focus on comfort, refinement, and effortless power, the Phantom is a car that's not afraid to redefine what luxury means. At the heart of the Phantom lies a 6.75-litre twin-turbocharged V12 engine, a power plant that's been designed to deliver effortless, seamless acceleration. In this guise, it churns out a stately 563 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque, enough to waft the Phantom from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.1 seconds. But while those numbers are certainly impressive for a car of this size and weight, they don't tell the whole story. You see, the Phantom isn't about raw speed or performance, it's about comfort, the kind that cocoons you in a world of your own. To that end, every inch of the Phantom has been carefully crafted to create an environment of unparalleled luxury. The hand-stitched leather upholstery, the book-matched wood veneers, the lambswool carpets, all of these elements work together to create a cabin that's as much a work of art as it is a mode of transportation. But the Phantom isn't just a pretty face, it's also a technological marvel, with features like a satellite-aided transmission that uses GPS data to predict the road ahead and select the perfect gear for the terrain. And with a magic carpet ride that's been honed over generations, the Phantom is a car that's as comfortable on the streets of Manhattan as it is on the winding roads of the French Riviera. Of course, all this luxury and refinement doesn't come cheap. The Rolls-Royce Phantom starts at around $450,000. It's a car that sets the standard for what a luxury sedan can be, a machine that proves that sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. 4. Bentley Mulsanne Bacala. From the timeless elegance of the Rolls-Royce Phantom, we now turn our attention to something a bit more badder. Meet the Bentley Mulsanne Bacala, a limited edition Grand Tourer that represents the pinnacle of Bentley's coach-building expertise. And with only 12 examples set to be produced, each one handcrafted to the customer's exact specifications, the Bacala is a car that's not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible in terms of bespoke luxury. At the heart of the Bacala lies a 6.0-litre twin-turbocharged W12 engine, a power plant that's been tuned to deliver a staggering 650 horsepower and 667 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to catapult the Bacala from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds and onto a top speed of 200 miles per hour. But while those numbers are certainly impressive, they don't tell the whole story. You see, the Bacala isn't just about raw speed or performance, it's about craftsmanship, the kind that comes from hundreds of hours of painstaking attention to detail. Each Bacala is hand-built by Bentley's Mulsanne division, a team of skilled artisans who have been crafting bespoke Bentleys for over a century. From the hand-stitched leather upholstery to the 5,000-year-old riverwood veneers, every element of the Bacala has been carefully selected and crafted to create a car that's truly one of a kind. But the Bacala isn't just a pretty face, it's also a technological marvel, with features like a state-of-the-art infotainment system and a three-dimensional diamond-quilted leather upholstery that's never been seen before on a Bentley. And with a sleek, muscular design that's been inspired by the EXP 100 GT concept car, the Bacala is a car that's as stunning to look at as it is to drive. And now the price. The Bentley Mulsanne Bacala starts at around $1.9 million. It's a car that sets a new standard for what a bespoke Grand Tourer can be, a machine that proves that sometimes less is more. 3. Mercedes-AMG 1. From the handcrafted exclusivity of the Bentley Mulsanne meet the Mercedes-AMG 1, a hypercar that represents the pinnacle of Mercedes-AMG's performance engineering. And with a singular focus on bringing Formula One technology to the road, the One is a car that's not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible in terms of sheer speed and performance. At the heart of the One lies a 1.6-litre turbocharged V6 engine, a power plant that's been lifted directly from Mercedes-AMG's championship-winning Formula One car. But the One isn't just about raw engine power, it's about total system output, the kind that comes from a sophisticated hybrid drivetrain. In addition to the V6 engine, the One features 4 electric motors, one for each front wheel, one integrated into the turbocharger, and one in the engine itself. Combined, this hybrid powertrain churns out over 1,000 horsepower, enough to catapult the One from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds and onto a top speed of 217 miles per hour. But the One isn't just about straight-line speed, it's about handling, the kind that allows you to carve through corners with precision and agility. To that end, every inch of the One has been optimized for performance. The aerodynamics have been honed in the wind tunnel, the suspension has been tuned for maximum grip, and the carbon ceramic brakes have been designed to withstand the rigors of track driving. But the One isn't just a numbers car, it's also a work of art, with a design that's as futuristic as it is functional. The sleek sculptural bodywork, the massive rear wing, the center lock wheels, every element has been carefully crafted to create a machine that's as much a hypercar as it is a rolling laboratory for Formula One technology. With a price tag of $2.7 million, the One is tough to beat. It's a car that pushes the boundaries of what's possible, a machine that proves that. Sometimes the best way to go fast is to start with a blank sheet of paper. 2. Rolls-Royce Boat Tail, a one-off coach-built creation that represents the pinnacle of Rolls-Royce's custom craftsmanship. And with a price tag of nearly $28 million, the Boat Tail is quite possibly the most expensive new car ever sold. But the Boat Tail isn't just about raw price or exclusivity, it's about craftsmanship, the kind that comes from years of painstaking attention to detail. The Boat Tail is the result of a collaboration between Rolls-Royce and 3 of its most discerning clients, who worked closely with the company's designers and engineers to create a car that's truly one of a kind. The inspiration for the Boat Tail comes from the world of luxury yachts, and it shows in every inch of the car's stunning design. The rear deck opens up to reveal a hosting suite, complete with a champagne fridge, cocktail tables, and even a parasol that extends to provide shade. The interior is just as opulent, with handcrafted wood veneers, bespoke timepieces, and even a custom-made Mont Blanc pen that's been designed to match the car's interior. But the Boat Tail isn't just a pretty face, it's also a technological marvel, with features like a state-of-the-art infotainment system and a bespoke audio system that's been tuned to provide the perfect soundstage for the car's unique interior. And with a twin-turbocharged V12 engine under the hood, the Boat Tail has the power to match its stunning looks. Of course, all this craftsmanship and exclusivity doesn't come cheap. The Rolls-Royce Boat Tail's price tag of nearly $28 million makes it the most expensive new car ever sold. But for the 3 lucky clients who commissioned this one-off creation, the Boat Tail represents the ultimate expression of their personal taste and style. It's a car that sets a new standard for what a bespoke creation can be, a machine that proves that sometimes the only limit is your imagination. 1. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. And now we come to the final car on our list of the most luxurious vehicles in the world. Meet the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, a one-off hypercar that represents the pinnacle of Bugatti's design and engineering prowess. And with a price tag of nearly $19 million, the La Voiture Noire is the most expensive new car ever sold. But the La Voiture Noire isn't just about raw price or exclusivity, it's about heritage, the kind that comes from nearly a century of building some of the most iconic cars in automotive history. The La Voiture Noire is a tribute to the legendary Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, one of the most beautiful and valuable cars ever made. Only 4 examples of the Atlantic were ever produced, and one of them went missing during World War II, never to be seen again. The La Voiture Noire is a modern interpretation of that missing car, a tribute to Bugatti's rich history and the brand's enduring legacy. The La Voiture Noire is based on the Bugatti Chiron, which means it shares the same quad-turbocharged 8.0-litre W16 engine that produces nearly 1,500 horsepower. But the La Voiture Noire isn't just about raw power, it's about style, the kind that comes from a sleek all-black exterior that's been sculpted to evoke the spirit of the original Atlantic. The interior is just as stunning, with handcrafted leather, bespoke carbon fiber trim, and a level of detail that's almost impossible to comprehend. With a price tag of nearly $19 million, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire is the most expensive new car ever sold. But for the lucky owner who commissioned this one-off creation, the La Voiture Noire represents the ultimate expression of Bugatti's design and engineering prowess. It's a car that sets a new standard for what a hypercar can be, a machine that proves that sometimes the only way to truly stand out is to create something that's truly one of a kind.